starting off, Luca, Jackson Hayes, Austin Reeves. I would say that three-headed monster was able to just, kind of take over the game, and that's really what won us this game was just potent offense, and then Luca being the hub of
I
everything.
just,
I think.
I kind of said it at the beginning of the pod. We just caught these two big wins earlier against two playoff teams in the East, and I think we've only lost one game in the East to Eastern Conference opponents this year,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You
and
guys have been money against the East.
which
It's
is
that Cavs game.
it's that one Cavs game.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say, bro, you can clip this one because they are a dangerous team. You guys should watch out for the Timberwolves. They are definitely not what their record says they are. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy ZD man here at Three Man Weave. I'm with the lovely co-host CJ. We in the building today. We coming at you guys live on a Monday. Obviously, we had the betting segment last time. I think we had missed a day, unfortunately, but we'll kind of recap that at the end. But CJ, how you feeling, man? How you feeling about the Thunder? You
yeah,
know, obviously Shea's MVP case keeps growing and growing, right?
yeah, bro. Yeah, no, I'm feeling great. Just got these two big dubs against the, like you said, the Pistons. We were talking about it whenever we got in here, and then the Bucks last night. So looking
Hmm.
good, man. Like you said, Shea's been, keeping up the MVP season that he's been having this whole year, and it's been great. Iheart's been looking really good. He dropped 24 and I think 12 rebounds last night. So that's always great to see. And
Shea's been finding them too, like on the
bro,
lives, bro.
yeah. Dude. So funny enough, because I was thinking about it earlier as I was watching the recap of the Thunder game. I remember I talked about it whenever we played the Cavs the first time in Cleveland. The way that their
uh,
bigs were playing with each other, playing off of each other, like being able to get
yep.
each other involved, throw lobs to each other. Bro, that's what iHeart and Chet is looking like right now. And the fact that we're kind of getting in, going and getting acclimated to like the double big lineup with them, because there's a portion of the games that Shea will be out, and then obviously J Dub hasn't been playing, so it'll be like Isaiah Joe, Cason Wallace, and like Wiggins,
Yep.
and with
Wiggins.
iHeart and Chet, and iHeart is like initiating the offense, kind of like at the top of the key, getting screens, doing like give and goes and stuff. So it's looking great, bro. Honestly, like I said, we're kind of, we've been winning still, but the games have been a lot closer. And then obviously when we went against the Timberwolves and then the Nuggets, we lost those games. But we're starting to get that double big lineup going, and I'm not gonna lie, man, it's looking really good. I'm ready to see what that looks like in the playoffs, because it starts to slow down a little bit more. So maybe they can still keep it going into the postseason. But yeah, no, it's been great, man. I can't complain. How have you been with the Lakers so far these past couple games?
Yeah,
I know y'all were on a little 3 game skid, but y'all ended up getting a dub last night. So what are your thoughts?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like you were saying, we were losing games, bro, and I think, of course, that's what's gonna happen whenever we lose you know what I'm saying, the king,
Right.
So without the king, we don't got the throne. But I think Luca's trying to take over with that. Obviously, the Milwaukee Bucks came out in a drop coverage, and we still lost the game. But Luca, we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, I'm feeling like okay. I think the sprint that we took, a few weeks back in terms of winning those games, and really just we had a splendid February, you could say. That really pushed us forward, and obviously it set us up to go into the playoffs. I don't think we're in danger or anything of like losing a playoff seed or anything like that. So I feel pretty confident in my squad, and obviously whenever the king comes back, we'll be ready to slay the dragons. But yeah, the Thunder look great. There's a couple teams that worry me, but ultimately, bro, like you're saying, when we beat I think we should dismantle the Suns, right? I think the Suns kind of just. I'll start it off honestly, but going into the game yesterday, like I think I was telling you about it off camera. Obviously, Kevin Durant's still playing at an MVP level. They had Luca and KD mic'd up, so it was pretty cool. But starting off, Luca, Jackson Hayes, Austin Reeves. I would say that three-headed monster was able to just kind of take over the game, and that's really what won us this game was just potent offense, and then Luca being the hub of everything. I think he really again was able to attack downhill on the pick and rolls, and then he had a couple of nice plays to Jackson Hayes. And I was gonna ask you, bro, You think he's solid or what?
I think it's the. I mean, not discrediting Jackson Hayes, but I think it's just kind of having that type of player that Luka is on your team. He just makes you look a lot better than what you really are. Because I mean, we
Right.
not like I said, no disrespect to him because we know he's obviously an NBA player, but he wasn't playing like how he's been playing these past couple really weak since Luka got or before Luka got there. So I mean, he has potential
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like Derek Lively looked so good at the beginning or end of last season because of what Luka was able to provide for him. So
Bro, what? I mean, when Luca's giving you 33, 11, like 8 assists, I was talking to my dad yesterday again, and like he was like, this is just what you can expect from him
right,
at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like he's clearly been able to be like the maestro to kind of the entire orchestra that we're trying to conduct here, and that's what JJ's kind of said. We're trying to unleash the Doncic demon, but again, bro, just I think our defense too is another thing that I had in our notes. Like I said, KD was playing at a MVP level, obviously, but we were able to hold him and Booker to like 12 or 13, 34 shooting, which
mm,
is like pretty solid. And again, I think that's been kind of the main catalyst as to why we've been able to win these games. Austin Reeves as well chipped in like another 30 piece, and he's been, like I said, all year pretty much our X factor. And if you guys have been consistent listeners to me, you know how much we've praised him on this show because he deserves it, man. I think coming off an injury and then just getting right back into the lineup and being exactly what we need. It's been, it's been amazing, bro. And then obviously talking about Jackson Hayes, like I think, the defensive thing is mainly what I'm talking about. Obviously, Luka's going to improve your offensive game, but what he's been able to do on the defensive side has really been amazing for me. Using that his athleticism and then getting his hands on basketballs is great. And then obviously, whenever he can protect the rim, that's something that we're missing right now. He's kind of being forced to be the center that's you know has to be the starter, but isn't really a starter. Obviously, Jackson Hayes is not like you're not going to be like having like cake over that if that's your starting center. But obviously, clearly that's what we got, and he was able to give us enough juice last night. But I just think that it's more about the Suns and kind of the disaster that they are right now, right? Like I think we might highlight it in a later segment, but they have not been playing too well, and it's obviously been shown on the court. I think they're in disarray, kind of. They don't really have a I think Kevin Durant's a vocal leader, but they don't have somebody that they can like be like, okay, yeah, this is who I'm riding behind. I think it's clear that the Suns are probably going to move off KD this summer, and we'll talk about that whenever that bridge. We have to cross that bridge, right? But
mm-hmm.
I think right now it's just they're in disarray, and it's showing on the court. And obviously the Lakers are a much better team than the Suns are, and that showed last night. But man, going into this Bucks game, this is the one I really wanted to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, the Bucks came out in a drop coverage. Once again, Luca had 45. So if you play the drop, you're gonna get killed. But what was crazy is again, without the King, we don't have the offensive firepower to really be able to handle Giannis Antetokounmpo, right? Once again, man, he had 24 and 12. I think also had like almost. I think he almost had a triple double.
Yeah,
He had like
one
nine
assist.
assists.
Yeah, one assist shy. Yeah,
Yeah, bro. So, I mean, in this game, it was kind of like he was doing everything. He was really giving us problems on the interior. Obviously, that's what he does, being the MVP candidate that he is. Also, I was gonna allude to this, bro. Our strength of schedule is it's tough, bro. We've been playing some pretty good teams coming down the stretch, and it's not easy going up against these superstar pairings, obviously, and Giannis and Dame, but. I think again this was another Austin Reeves game where he gave us the offensive punch that we were looking for, and it just speaks even more volumes to his play this year. And I honestly think he honestly should be in the running for most improved. I was gonna bring that up
really.
later because Austin Reeves, yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah. My fault. My fault. Yeah, yeah. 100%.
yeah,
Yeah,
100%, and
yeah, yeah. I agree.
he's not,
Yeah, which is crazy.
and he gets to a bucket, and I don't understand why,
Yeah,
but yeah, that's weird, right?
yeah.
But
Averaging
anyways,
almost 20. 26 and 4.
bro. And on the efficiency, like he's
Yeah.
been, and I think his games limit might be close. I'm not sure, but
Oh yeah, that is a thing. I forget about that. That's why Norman Powell's not on there because he can't.
okay,
We'll get into that
yeah,
later. Sorry, I got
we'll get into
jump the
that
gun a
here.
little
No,
bit,
yeah,
but
but
I
the
noticed
point
he
was,
wasn't.
bro.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, we'll talk about it because he was my dark horse, but
Yeah, yeah.
um, bro. But like the point was, is like he had another game where I'm just like, man, if we had LeBron out here, I think we win this game. I think Giannis, like I said, killed us in the interior, and then the Bucks were able to just hit more threes than us. It's something where I think Luca, he had that crazy one-legged three over AJ Green. I know you probably saw that
Hmm.
highlight. Like Luca can't take us to the promised land every single game, and I think over the last 7 years, that's been shown. Uh, he's somebody that can get you to a certain level, but you need to have the players still around him to take you kind of over the hump. And without LeBron, I really see kind of an offensive hole that is looking to it's vacant right now. It's void, and we need somebody to really replace that. And I think Austin Reeves is trying to do that right now, but it just wasn't enough in terms of like obviously just the offensive firepower in the NBA. It's you need more than just one or two people going. You need kind of a third dude, four guys, kind of giving you points. And the Lakers just don't have consistent scoring. And that's something we're trying to work on. I think Gabe Vincent has played a lot better. I wanted to shout him out too. I was hating on him a few months back, but like he's been playing like very good basketball, bro. So I
Hmm.
wanted to give him some love. But ultimately, bro, I think it's just, we had a little losing streak, but we're starting to kind of get over the hump. I think the Lakers are still a team to be reckoned with, man. There's no doubt about it. Don't sleep on us. I think we're still dangerous in a playoff format. And coming up, that's kind of what's going to be on the table here at three man is like we're just trying to see what our teams look like whenever they get to the playoffs. And I think us going up against the Bucks, like getting a playoff atmosphere. Obviously, the Bucks have high level players, but they're going to be in the playoffs as well. And then playing against the Suns, who honestly aren't really a playoff team. They might make the plan, but they have high level players. So playing against high level talent, I think is important coming down the stretch.
Right. Yeah, yeah, 100%, bro. I mean, I guess kind of, was there anything else you wanted to talk about the Lake Show?
Um, yeah, but
Yeah, yeah,
we'll
go for it.
we'll get into it later
Okay,
because
you tell about.
yeah, it's about Braun. And,
Oh,
I would
yes.
say yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's about the Lake Show, but
It is definitely is, yeah. Yeah, I was just gonna
yeah,
kind of piggybacking off of what you said about your squad. Kind of just, I kind of said it at the beginning of the pod. We just caught these two big wins earlier against two playoff teams in the East, and I think we've only lost one game in the East to Eastern Conference opponents this year,
yeah. You
and
guys have been money against the East.
which
It's
is
that Cavs game.
it's that one Cavs game. Yeah, that was away. So, but yeah, no. Besides that, I think we won 27 road games, which is a franchise record. So we've been balling out, man. And honestly, it's looking like that we have the workings of a potential championship team now, bro. And I think that I could confidently say that, like especially at you know
Did
what
Shea get 10K?
he did get 10K. He's the fastest player in OKC franchise history to get it. I think it was like 15 less games than KD, which is kind of crazy, low key, because
Yeah,
Shea kind of
yeah.
was. I mean, I wouldn't say a late bloomer, but he really didn't start to become a star until he got to the Thunder, and it took him still a couple years. But I think that kind of goes to show these past 3 seasons, kind of the level he's been playing at, But yeah, I mean, big wins against, like we were talking about, the Pistons, who are a playoff team, and the Bucks, who y'all played against, who are also a playoff team. So just looked real impressive, bro. Like, I'm still really impressed with our bench play. Like you said, Casey Wallace, Isaiah Joe, even iHeart sometimes whenever we switch up our lineups and he comes off the bench. Wiggins has been balling out, and I think Dort has been out these past couple games, but when he comes back, obviously we know what he provides. But it's been great, man. I can't really complain. It's definitely season's looking bright, man. I just can't wait to the playoffs, bro. That's all I really got to say about my squad.
Yeah. I was gonna say for Thunder fans, this at this point, it's it's like it's like a chorus. you guys are hearing the same music over and over again.
Yeah.
It's just perfect basketball. It's seamless. The only issues that you have are like in the nuances of the game.
Right.
I think the two big lineup, like you were alluding to earlier, like the I Heart Chet thing is, Mark Dagnall's being able to experiment at this point. He's
Mm.
rolling whoever he wants out there. But yeah, Shea had another 40 bomb. I think he's got to be the MVP
Yeah.
at this point. But we'll see. We'll see coming down the stretch. What Jokic is going to give him
Mm.
run for his money, obviously. But
Yeah.
I don't know your guys' schedule coming up. But I'm assuming you guys are going to rest a couple people. I was going to ask you about that, but
So
the Lakers can't rest people. We
I was about to
gotta
say I
still.
looked it up. Shout out to Tankathon. Y'all have the sixth hardest strength of schedule, and we have the
Yep.
23rd. So, like you said, more than likely, our tough games are Memphis, Rockets, y'all twice. Those are gonna be a pretty tough games. Pacers, Clips, and then Pistons one more time, and then we have like the bottom of the barrel teams in the East. But
No more Timberwolves.
no more Timberwolves. We finished our series already, and that was like I
Wow,
said,
we.
yeah, that was really one of those teams. I'm like, yeah, that might be a little tough. They're looking good right now. So, but yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll probably start to rest, like you said. But
Yeah, I was gonna add something. What's
let,
up?
I know you saw that, right? We're being investigated for
Yeah, I
resting.
did. I did.
So I
I
will.
wasn't gonna bring that up, but
Well, we're talking about resting and stuff. So like, what do you think
the
about
Thunder.
that,
Yeah,
bro?
yeah.
Like, cause we had all our players out, we still won. I don't know all like the rules and regulations of it, right? But like, why are we
So
being
the
investigated?
PPP, the PPP is the player protection privacy, or the player protection policy that the NBA has installed to protect teams essentially from tanking,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the rule just protects players from giving them a fair play, essentially allowing them fair employment. But yeah, when the Thunder just rest all of their starting unit, none of them are hurt. There's clearly no injury. There's nothing in the NBA has the video, like they can review it and see like if somebody got hurt. Practices are usually recorded as well, so they can ask for that footage too. Um, it's very hard to get away with something like that. I think the Jazz are being investigated as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the fines are so minimal that I think it's worth it sometimes.
Right. Yeah, I think I saw you quote
Hundred
tweeted
thousand dollars.
something about, I think it was yeah, it was with the Jazz, and you're like, shit, they're trying to tank for Cooper Flag, so like that's worth
Oh
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Like
worth it. It's
100K for a game, yeah, that's worth us getting
yeah, it's
potential.
totally. You could
Someone,
yeah,
someone that.
Markkinen, Clarkson, every Keontae George, you name it, Kessler, everybody's out. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
gosh, Colin Sexton, everybody.
Right.
Um, I was gonna just bring up though one more thing about the Thunder. I think the Thunder struggle against like certain teams,
Yeah.
so we'll see. I think it's like the Timberwolves. Maybe no, I don't know about the Lakers anymore because we don't have LeBron or those bigs, but just certain squads. Like I know the Cavs will probably give them trouble if they do if that's a finals matchup. But
Mm-hmm.
ultimately, they've been probably the most dominant team this year. I think Dagnall could win Coach of the Year again, but we'll see. Like he's in the running for sure. I don't know if he will because he
Mm-hmm.
already has, and
Right.
it's really tough to do so. But
Oh
the
yeah.
record, the record just speaks for itself.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Kenny's gonna get it this year, but I
Oh
mean,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
but
just understand.
he's definitely up there. He's probably gonna be top
Like
three.
third.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, he won't win twice, but like you're
Ha, ha,
saying, it's tough.
that's
You can look it
interesting.
up. I'm
I was
not
gonna
sure
say
how many people have won
like
twice.
yeah,
Maybe
or
Popovich.
back to back. Yeah, coach of the year.
I'm thinking like Pop.
Right.
Who would your
Pop.
guess be?
Probably Pop. Honestly, that's
Yeah,
really the only one because I don't think even Spoelstra's never won a coach of the year. I don't
or Phil
think.
Jackson.
All right. Don Nelson back
Oh
in
wow, yeah,
the
yeah,
'80s.
yeah.
Pat Riley
Pat Riley.
has three. Don Nelson has three. Hubie Brown has two. Pop has three.
Hmm.
Budenholzer. Thibodeau has 2, and then Mike Brown has 2. None have won back.
Wow.
None have won. Or yeah, none have won back to back though. It's always been like a
That's fine.
year. Yeah, 2 and 3 years. But
Yeah, that's cool.
guys,
Yeah,
interesting.
I think
Yep.
that's a cool stat. Dagnall's right there, man. He's
Mm.
been LinkedIn coach, right?
Yeah. Thanks.
But yeah, I wanted to talk about the Timberwolves for a second. Did you see Ant won a Player of the Week?
Yeah. Yeah, I did see that, bro.
They're on like a 8 or 9 game winning streak, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They like you said, they gave the Thunder trouble. I asked you about them for a reason because I wanted to see if y'all had any more games against them because I know they're probably in the best form that they've been in so far. I think the Julius Randle, him being able to come back, and then Dante just being able to show up. But Ant's been going crazy. I think their schedule's been fairly easy. He had 40 points against the Jazz last night. I don't know if you got to see any highlights of that, but
I saw that
you know,
dunk.
I love. Yeah.
Saw that shit.
Yeah, over Walker Kessler for sure.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you, man. You think he should be in a dunk contest, man?
I feel like he's like, like there's like in-game dunkers. That's who I feel like. Like he's an in-game dunker. Not saying that he couldn't do what I mean. I feel like they could all do it, but
Yo,
I feel like
you
his
got to
is
do a
like,
segment on that.
yeah, for
That's a
sure.
good like in-game dunkers versus like
Like a,
nah, like
like an all-star
there's room
game.
with both, bro.
Yeah.
Like Gerald Green, bro. Like when he blew
Mm.
out the candle, and he was like doing that stuff in game, bro.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
So
No,
I
I
feel
would
like
love to see him though. I would love to see Ant in the dunk
I was
contest.
gonna say, I feel like Ant could do something crazy for sure
Mm-hmm.
and get Mac McClung out of there. But point is, yeah, he had a crazy dunk for sure over Walker Kessler. He's gonna make an All NBA team too as well. Spoiler alert, we have him on our list.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he's been awesome. I think what he's been able to do, just his 3-point attempts, right? We talked about it earlier in the season, but he had this interview. It's like, oh, you gonna stop shooting threes? And he told the reporter, you remember what he said?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, I'm not gonna stop shooting them because they can't guard them. He
Yeah.
was like, wow. He's like, if they're not gonna step up, I'm gonna keep busting their ass. I think that's exactly what they said. So
Yeah, bro.
he's been in kind of a mode all year. It was unfortunate. I was talking to my girlfriend about it, but it was unfortunate he missed the All Star game and LeBron did too. I was telling her like I think it's sus how they just back out really quickly, but his performance post All Star break, I don't have the numbers up in front of me, but I think it's close to 30 points, almost I think 40% from deep, 80% from the line, some more assists as well. So he's been able to really not taking a leap that we weren't expecting, but just be the Ant that essentially is. There's a reason why he won Western Conference Player of the Week. I mean, he was killing it all week, and they've had fairly easy matchups. But the Timberwolves, bro, I was gonna say, bro, you can clip this one because they are a dangerous team. You guys should watch out for the Timberwolves. They are definitely not what their record says they are. If they're fully healthy, they're scary. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to add any other thoughts, be my guest.
No, yeah, bro. I agree with you 100% because they're catching fire and they actually have the third easiest schedule. So this is perfect for
Yep.
them. You know what I mean? They can actually work their way up. They're the seventh seed. Shit, they might be fighting for top four, to be honest, the way that they've been playing
Oh
lately,
goodness,
which is crazy to think
where
because
the Lakers at? Are we the five?
y'all are the five, yeah.
Yeah,
Y'all,
yeah.
so y'all are right there too. And like I said, that the way that Ant has been playing, bro, I'm looking at his stats. He's shooting 40% from three this year.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's why. Yeah, he'll be
Shit
on
is
the.
crazy, bro. But
Yeah, it's good for him.
just the way that they've been playing, Julius Randle, I think they're like, aren't they like 9-0 with him starting or
Oh
nine
yeah,
nine
yeah,
and one,
yeah,
whatever it is? Like, I think
yeah.
yeah,
Since
since
he
this
came
win
back.
streak, yeah. But no, they've been playing well, man. And Jaden McDaniels is looking good. You said DiVincenzo, all those players are. We were talking about them at the beginning of the season, throughout the whole year, just kind of like, what's going on over there. But they figured it out at the right time
Yeah,
and looking good.
I got one for you. Do you think the cat trade? You think they won or lost that trade?
Mm.
You think it's still TBD? Because I think that's the other one. Is like before we get off the Timberwolves, people say that, oh, they lost the trade, blah blah blah, but I don't know. I think we need a larger timeline.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little too early. I mean, obviously, if the Knicks end up going on a crazy run and winning a title or something, then yeah, maybe. But I feel like in the long run, this might be better for the growth of Anthony Edwards as a player, to be honest. Because I feel like now
Uh,
he's kind of getting into where this is my team now. Opposed, I mean, we knew it was his team last year as well, but he had Cat on the team as well, so it's kind of like you have someone else. But
yeah.
now it's like solidified. Like, all right, take us to the glory road. Like.
Yeah, and then follow up for you is crazy. You think Cat and Ant will both make All NBA teams probably?
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
Okay, there you go. Like you're saying, yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah. There you go. Yep. Moving on, bro. We haven't talked about this team in a while, but I wanted to shout out the Bulls. They're kind
Mm-hmm.
of in the tankathon as well, but
Mm-hmm.
we haven't really talked about them as a squad. I know you probably don't watch a ton of Bulls games. I don't either. They don't get a ton of national TV love, which is kind of sad. I think they've only had one or game this year or two games. They're in a big market, so they do get one or two a year.
Mm.
But their team isn't that good. But man, Kobe White's been hooping,
Kobe
so he was
White.
the other bro. He was the other Eastern Conference Player of the Week. Kind of what are your thoughts on his performance this week? And then obviously Montez Buzeli's right. They have Giddy too's been hooping. What do you
Yes.
think about the Bulls, bro? What
Dude,
do you
I'm
think
not gonna
about the
lie to
Bulls?
you. I've been kind of betting on Giddy a lot. Points, rebounds, and assists. This man's been
I bet
hitting
you
every
have.
time. He's
Yeah,
been hooping, bro.
he's solid.
Honestly, like I think us trading him away was the best situation. I'm not gonna lie, just because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
I know the type of player that he is. Like he's gotten a lot better at his 3 point shot, but just come playoff time, it's not always doesn't translate. But them as a
yeah.
team, bro, they've been doing really well. Like you said, Kobe White dropped 44 against the Magic the other like couple of games ago. Like he's been balling, bro. Like I think what was he averaging for the season? I know he's averaging almost 20, but he's been, like you said, these past games been on a burner, bro. Like 44, 21, 29, 31, 23. He's been
Yeah,
I think if he wasn't already, he's definitely going to be a part of the Bulls future. You know what I mean? Him, like you said,
yeah.
even Giddy. I don't know, honestly. Giddy's such a weird player to me because he's good, but like
Giddy's been pretty good, bro. Post
no,
All Star break.
no, he's been really good. I just don't know if that will like take you to a championship or nothing. Not to trying to sound like Shaq, but you know what I mean.
I mean, the Bulls are very far away from a
From that,
championship.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
But I just want to show love because I feel like we're not going to talk about the bottom of the barrel, but they've been awesome. I think if you're a Bulls fan, once again, you're excited about the future. They're trying to lose games, but seeing these guys play their asses off is definitely a good sign. I
Hmm.
feel like Kobe White's definitely going to be a part of their future. Um, like you were saying, he's been. I think they should get off Io, probably, Patrick Williams. Like, there's a few players they got to move around, but um, also the Zach Collins contract was horrible. Ugh,
Hmm.
ugh.
Yeah.
But there you go. I mean, the Bulls roster, it's what they got, but they've been exciting. I
Hmm.
think if you're watching them, they're kind of more upbeat team. They play with pace. Montez Buzelis has been really good too. He's been super athletic and very sticky. So if you're a Chicago fan, you just got to pray on the future. So shout out to the Bulls, but yeah, man, I think I want to go back to the Knicks for a second. Did you see what Stephen A said about the minutes? Kind of what we've been saying on the pod, right? And how
Hmm.
Tom Thibodeau was just dragging the starters down, and McCall Bridges essentially had a meeting with Tom Thibodeau, and Tom Thibodeau refused to acknowledge the meeting, I guess. So I guess what are your thoughts on that situation and how supposedly he's known for dragging the players into the ground?
Yeah, man. I feel like that's been low key the main thing that we've been saying about Thibodeau for the last really couple years. Honestly, like that's kind of his coaching style. He plays a starter for 38 minutes a game on a back to back on a fucking Thursday. You know what I mean? So it doesn't really make sense to me. But the fact that reporters and stuff are bringing it up now, I don't know. I doubt it's gonna change the way he coaches. He's still probably gonna do the same thing, but I think it's something. If you if you keep doing it over and over again, you see that your players are gonna start to wear and tear towards the end of the season. You're going into the playoffs; they're all injured. I just don't really understand how you expect to get a lot of playoff success out of that. So, I I'm not surprised that people are talking about it because we've been talking about it. You know what I mean? And we're not even at their level, but obviously we watch
Yeah,
the game and analyze it to the best of our capabilities, and we notice stuff like that. So I'm not surprised. It's just more so, is it? I don't think us or other people, reporters, bringing it up, like showing, shedding light onto it. I don't think it's Thibodeau is still gonna do the same shit, which is blows
yeah,
my mind. But
yeah. And I want to provide some context. Like McCall Bridges hasn't missed a game in over, like he hasn't missed a game yet.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
So the fact that he's saying something too, it's not just like any player. It's like somebody who just is always out there. He's been at every practice. He's at every game. He's always available. I think yeah, Tom Thibodeau's Stephen A said he's in a world of trouble. That's what he said. He said he's in a world of trouble. I don't know if he's gonna lose his job because the Knicks have been pretty solid this year, but yeah, man, I think he should listen to his players more, and I think it's detrimental to the team to run these guys in the ground. Kendrick Perkins brought something up on Inside the NBA, but he brought up that Tom Thibodeau's actually decreased the starters' minutes, and while that's true, players like McCall Bridges are two-way players. If the superstar player is out there, like McCall Bridges is most likely guarding him.
Hmm.
It's so Tom Thibodeau has to play the other players kind of the way that the other team is playing them. So he's got to kind of match, player with player, and obviously you get that. McCall Bridges though has been an Iron Man, bro. So the fact that he's bringing this up to the coach, I think, says a lot. But
Mm.
yeah, man, I think he should be worried about the playoffs and what's expected. And I just hope that like the Knicks are able to recover, because every single season they seem to break down. Jalen Brunson broke his wrist last year in the playoffs. It's not to say that he was getting overworked or anything like that, but Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, if you remember last year, tried to play a playoff game on one hamstring.
Mm-hmm. I do remember that.
Tom Thibodeau got these cats dying out there, man.
Yeah, bro. We've been talking about it. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand.
Nah, for sure. And if you're a Knicks fan, I think, obviously you should be thankful you got Jalen Brunson, you got Cat, you got those dudes, you got guys that are, showing up nightly, giving you guys 40 minutes a night, bro. 40 minutes a night. So, I think yeah, they should tread lightly for sure moving forward. But the other crazy thing that had happened, this is about the Lake Show, okay? And I want to hear your thoughts about this, man, because obviously this was kind of big in the basketball world, and I'm sure this is, it's died down a little bit, but I think it's important to still talk about. Did you see, the confrontation that LeBron James had with Stephen A. Smith?
I did.
You did? What were your
Yeah.
thoughts on it, man? You see the video?
Yeah, I saw it. I don't know like the whole what was exactly said. I didn't look like too far deep into that. I know it was about Bronny though, right? And he said to like
Yep.
keep his
Yep.
son's name out of his mouth and stuff like
Yep.
that. I mean, like kind of initial thoughts to that, I was just like, well, I mean, it's his son. You know what I mean? I kind of don't expect anything less, but I think it's just the player that he is, and I think the type of person that Stephen A is. I think he like LeBron respects like what he says. So like if he's saying, I don't know, I didn't have too much thoughts about it. I guess I just kind of was just like, oh, okay, that's just
I do.
yeah. What are your thoughts?
Man. Well, first off, I think I don't know if you saw what Draymond said, but it's tough because Stephen A. went on the air and talked about Bronny. Like Bronny obviously isn't a major player or anything, but he has been getting more run because we're down on bodies right now. But I think LeBron spoke to him as a father, and we're not dads yet, but once we are, I'm sure we'll understand this. But you gotta protect the family at all costs. That's something within you. I know that's within you, regardless if you're a dad or not.
Right.
Um, I think LeBron was just standing up for his son. But what was surprising about the way Stephen A. went about it was like, yeah, okay, LeBron could have waited. I understand, right? You're in crypto. there's a lot of people. It's probably, it's during the game. Like, I get it. I get it. But as a man too, man, like if something like that happens, like I'm gonna be ready. Like I'm just ready all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen A, if you saw the video, he looked very petrified, and that's kind of a big word, but for people who don't know, it's just like shocked.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was just like, oh, like LeBron's talking to me right now about this
Mm-hmm.
situation. And it's like, yeah, bro, because you went on the air this morning and you kind of aired him out, but um after that he went on not uninterrupted. It was with Ryan Clark and the boys. He
Mm.
went on there and he was like, "Man, no, it might be it was with Gil. It was with Gil and the boys."
Yeah.
He went on there and he was like, "Yeah, what he did was weak, blah blah blah. Like I understand being a father, but there's a way you go about this and all this." And my thoughts are, man, I hope Stephen A. You realize like it's deeper than basketball sometimes. Obviously, you've interviewed LeBron. He kind of pays your bills. Me and CJ are hoping to kind of get paid off of this as well in the future. There's no issue with that, but we gotta respect, kind of what's going on and how big of a situation that is because you want to make sure that you keep the right people's names in your mouth and obviously whenever LeBron feels some type of way he's gonna let that be known, bro. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
not there's no ifs ands or buts about that. So I feel like Stephen A kind of had it coming, bro. Not gonna lie, but I hope obviously I don't know in the future kind of what that means for their relationship because I think it was like kind of solid. Like,
Right. Yeah.
that's I feel like that's why
Never.
LeBron.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah,
he
that's why
never had like
LeBron
any
confronted him in that
animosity.
way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no animosity, and I think that's just why LeBron approached him in that way because he thought he stood on business.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll kind of see the impact that this has later.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. For
I'm
sure.
not too sure, but we'll have to see. I think Stephen A. has been a character that's like he's been on our TV for the last decade, bro. So he knows what he's doing for sure. Me and CJ are not experts in that field, and I want to give respect to him. For those that I don't know, I think he came up off of the AI um, story. I
Mm-hmm.
think he was like a Philly sports writer, and he was really covering AI at the time, and he was able to, kind of mix his personality into those stories, and now he's Stephen A. But yeah, man, we'll see because he has a lot of beef with certain people, man.
Yeah. No.
I
Yeah.
think
He
you know. I
does.
think there's like a not a thinking basketball. It's a what's it? The Prism. I forget. It's the YouTube channel. They make all the sports documentaries. Um, it's super dope, bro.
Is it
I'm
like the
forgetting the
beefs and
name.
shit or
Yeah, it's like the Beefs.
secret base?
Secret Base. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
The Secret Base. Yeah, I think they might do one on Stephen A. I
Yeah. They got to.
could see that. I could see that. Thank
Yeah.
you for that. I
Yeah.
forgot
For
what it's
sure.
called. The Secret Base.
Yes,
For
sir.
sure. Shout out them. They
Shout out
have
to
like a
them.
ton of subscribers too. They're a great channel.
Yeah. Facts. They make really good content.
100%. But man, you want to get into the main piece of the pie we got.
Yeah, bro. Let's get into it, man.
All right, man. Yeah, I'll let you roll through this one, man. I feel like, obviously this one is for the audience. We're about to talk about the most improved player. I had I had put the All NBA third team in the last episode, so it'll be a little bit jumbled, but it's okay.
It's
You'll
all
still
good.
rock with it. It's
Right.
all good. But I think unfortunately, this award is a little bit. I think the horses will be interesting, but this award is a little bit out of reach for some dudes. But
Right.
obviously, CJ, I like to hear your thoughts, man. So
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I feel the same way, bro. I mean, I think we might have talked about it in a past pod, but just the favorite right now is or no, I'll save that. But just kind of what the award is and stuff, just kind of it being obviously most improved, so it's the player that improved the most, right? But with some of these players, they I think a thing that goes into it is like expectations and kind of what we expect them to be, opposed to a player that might be getting picked at the first or like end of the first round who ends up making a big jump his third or fourth year. I kind of think that players like that. This award is more so not discrediting all the the great lottery picks that have been doing well and
Morant,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
exactly, and stuff like that. But I don't know. I think I like seeing the lesser known players being able to get this award just so they can have another trophy and so they can have that accolade because they like I said, the expectations weren't there for them to be what an 18 point per game scorer or whatever it may be. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, kind of get into it. I'll start from the bottom going up to the top. So, and I'm gonna bring this one up because it's the sixth one, and he's on my squad. They actually have for the most improved player, plus 12,500, Jalen Williams from the
J
OKC.
Dub. I
J
saw
Dub.
that. I did not put him on the list in the outline, so it's cool that you brought him up.
Yeah, I had
He
to
is
bring
on
him
the
up,
list.
just showing it. Which I mean, I'm not opposed to that. I mean, he's the season he's
No, no,
having,
no.
obviously all star, but these players above him, I think, deserve it a little bit more. Kind of like what I was saying, but his season has been incredible. I think, just kind of what he's been able to do for his game in totality. Not just on the offensive end. We kind of been able to see what he can provide on the defensive end, and he's pretty much one, or he could be a 2 through 5 for us essentially. So wanted to show him love. But going into who made the list, we got Evan Mobley from the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's fifth favorite with a plus 8,000 odds.
Oh, yep, yep.
I think that's a huge huge thing for him because we talked about him in the last pod. I think we had him on our all third team, but just kind of his ascension on the offensive side, seeing that he can actually be a really good mid range scorer and even threes and kind of getting his passing involved and obviously what he provides on the defensive side of the ball as well. But just kind of his jump offensively has been very telling, and seeing the type of player that he's becoming, it's kind of a perfect fit for the Cavs. What were your thoughts about Evan Mobley
Oh
being number
man,
5?
yeah. I was gonna say. I think he might he in my opinion should be in the top three.
Yeah.
Um, bro. For I think the issue with him was that like you're saying, the offensive game wasn't polished enough for the Cavaliers to be satisfied. I think he's answered that question and he's kind of turned into a franchise cornerstone to the point where now they're gonna pay him. I think he's gonna be a $280 million player,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because he can go both ways. One of the best defenders in the league, and then obviously he's turning into a better offensive player. And then he's just again the Cavaliers have had a remarkable season. He's been one of the main reasons why the Cavs have been so good. And kind of like to J Dub's point, this dude was drafted highly. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
why he's at the bottom of the list, is because the expectations were so high coming out the gate. And obviously he's kind of fulfilling those. And I think he's exceeding those, kind of like J Dub is, honestly. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's from Santa Clara, right?
Yeah.
And then Mobley's from USC.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, both California boys, but it's tough when you come from good basketball schools. And we'll talk about guys higher on the list, but I think it's interesting you brought that up. Kind of, what does most improved really mean, right? Like that's the big question. I think when you were talking about earlier is like, I think when we ask that question, you look at Evan Mobley and immediately see the answer.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's had one of the better seasons out of anybody in the NBA this year.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he continues to be a key player for them. So shout out Evan Mobley. He's definitely the. It's crazy, right? You've heard his name a lot. There's a reason.
Yeah. Yeah, no, rightfully so, man. He's been balling out, like you said, all
Calling out.
potentially all NBA players. So shout out to him. Going next on the list, number 4 is actually Tyler Hero.
Oh, yeah, man. Tyler Hero's been awesome this year, but yeah, the Heat have been struggling without Jimmy Butler, bro. And I think it's something that he's gonna have to work on. Like, is it really is he the franchise player? Is he the next big thing that the Heat are gonna try to work with? We're still trying to figure that out. I think clearly they've answered the question for right now, and that's yes. But man, the season that he's had, just all around being a first time all-star selection, it just shows you guys kind of what he's been able to contribute to the Heat this year. And I think, bro, he's really, again, he's somebody who was drafted in a pretty high spot. He had
Mm-hmm.
high expectations. He's definitely been one of the better scorers in his class, but for him to be super efficient, bro, it's just the efficiency this year that's really been super surprising. And I think he's taken a significant leap in his ability to command the offense, be a better playmaker too as well, not just a scorer, but being able to get some assists when they need it most. I think he's been awesome. And then obviously you get the clutch gene with him. I think he puts in a ton of work in the dark. It shows. And he's definitely been the Heat's best player this season, no doubt. And I think it clearly shows just in terms of the accolades he's going to be receiving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with everything you said, bro. He's been fantastic. He's had a damn near a 4 point jump. He was averaging 20 last season. Now he's averaging 23.6. So he's been balling out. He's really been the Heat's best player this whole season. He was an All Star. He's getting all these accolades this season. I think, like you were saying, it kind of is putting him in the right direction as to if he is actually one of the cornerstones, and I believe he is, like you were saying, and just kind of
I have a cool question for you.
what's up, bro?
Um, I don't know if I don't know if this is true, but Tyler Hero might be the only player in NBA history to have a six man of the year award, and win a 3 point contest.
Mm, that that might be you might be onto something, man.
Yeah, look it up though.
I got
We'll
you.
look
I
it up
got
in
you.
a second. But yeah, he's a special player, bro. Like that's kind of the point is coming off the bench. I think we didn't talk about this, CJ, but I think the reason he's in this running is he used to be on the bench and he
Yeah.
was really good. And just obviously he won that award. I think 2 years ago.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah, 2 years ago. But even then he had an amazing season. But what he's been able to do efficiency wise is just kind of crazy. I'm sure there's more, but I just want to see
Yeah, I got you. There's not like I gotta look through.
a list.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
100%. But no, Tyler Hero fourth. He was fourth.
yeah, he was fourth.
What was his betting odds? I forgot.
Plus 3,000.
Plus 3,000. I think that's a good ticket to hold. If the
Yeah.
Heat can squeak by in the playoffs potentially, that's probably my pick on the list to take. If you had to take any one of those players, but obviously everybody at the bottom of this list is the expectations were pretty much not through the roof, but at the ceiling. And so they're kind of, they have a lot further to go than
Hmm.
some of the other players that we're about to talk about. But it's fine if you can't find it.
I was about to say, I think I might have found another one. I just always forget how the seasons work. So 2016, 2017, Eric Gordon won the three or six man of the year award. And then
Uh-huh.
2017, he won the 3 point contest.
Okay.
Is that the
Yeah.
same? Okay, then
Yeah.
yeah, Eric Gordon,
Wow. That's another one. I was thinking like there might be like maybe Lou Will, but I don't think he won.
like a
Six
three
man of the
point.
year is very tough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I would say 3 point contest. Yeah, it's
I feel like
just
getting the six man of the year award is the tougher part.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's just those two. Interesting. I didn't know that.
Wow. That's really cool. Special.
But going into the next one, top three now. This is one of the players that I think kind of deserves it. Just kind of his jump and his
Me too.
ascension as a player on his team. It's Christian Braun for the
Mm.
Nuggets. He's at a plus 3,000. He went from averaging 7.3 points per game last season to 15.2 points per game this season. And I think it's kind of just the his ascension that he's kind of been helping out with that Nuggets. Yeah, and he's locking it down. He's pretty much just playing winning basketball. You know what I mean? For a team
Yeah.
that is a championship or hopes of winning one. And
Well, let me ask you this. Was it ever a question that he couldn't play, right?
no, I don't
National
think it
title
was.
winner. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's won on
That's what I
every
mean.
every
Yeah,
stage,
I was
right?
gonna say, he's another player like Stephon Castle, bro. I just think people overlooked what he was going to be.
Hmm.
But the Nuggets have drafted extremely well.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and but yeah, he's been in my opinion their best player this year.
Hmm.
I think Jokic it's expected,
Right, right,
but to
right.
get this like, dude,
Yeah,
what?
I didn't
Yeah, I would
expect it.
be.
I didn't expect him to
Yeah,
be scoring this much. At least I expected him to be a
hmm
good player, like maybe like a 12 points, 10 points, something like that, like around that range.
yeah.
But 15, and
Nah,
he has his
he's
moments where
solid.
he's dropping 30 some games. You know, he has
Yeah,
that
yeah,
type
yeah.
of ability. So you know, I like that was the type. These are the type of players where I was like, these are the ones that I would like to see win Most Improved personally, because he was a 21st pick, like you said, kind of got overlooked. Had a decent couple first 2 seasons, and now his role has been kind of, he has a bigger role in this team since injuries and players leaving and whatnot, and he's still able to produce at a high level. You know, those are the type of players I like to see personally. But of course, as the higher we get onto this list, I'm pretty sure people know. But you know, the like I was saying, the expectations for them are a little bit different. You know, but this is in my eyes. If anything, I would probably put money on him, just because I like they're in a good spot. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna be, you know, in the playoff contention. He's averaging doubled his points. You know what I mean? I don't know exactly what they look at, if it's just the most points or if it's the highest points per game jump. Like we don't really have the criteria, like we've been saying throughout the whole season, for certain
Yeah, I know. It's so
awards. You
annoying.
know, but I think he's probably the most deserving in my eyes. You know, obviously
Him
we'll
or
get,
Dyson Daniels, right?
yeah, Dyson Daniels is too, but yeah, no, I think he deserves it a little bit more, but we'll see.
Okay.
We know who's gonna win it, but like you were saying, kind of going into the next one, Dyson Daniels is number two. He's a plus 300 odds. What are your
Yeah, I
thoughts
want
on
to
his
talk about
season?
him. I think he leads the league in steals. He is like, I feel bad for the Pelicans, bro. I mean, it's tough to see that, but yeah, he's really good, really freaking good. I
Mm-hmm.
think he'll be on the Hawks for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what he's been able to do just defensively, but I think it's just offense is his 3-point ability, and then yeah, he can score 14, 16, 20 points, and that's, I think whenever we talk about finding your rhythm and then finding the type of player that you are, when you talk about most improved, bro, he's done that. Like
Right.
that's no, I don't need criteria basically to know like what that looks like, and he's
Mm-hmm.
he's been able to showcase that this season. And obviously, you've spoken highly about Trey Young. I think being on a team with somebody like that has given him a better opportunity than you could say playing with other people who share the ball less. Because
Right.
Trey Young's very unselfish, and um, he's able to play off guys like that. So yeah, shout out Dyson Daniels, bro. Just a complete defensive menace. Definitely first team all defense.
100%.
No doubt. Yeah,
Yeah, I
like
think he's
no
leading
doubt.
the. I think he's gonna be the first guard since Jordan in 88, 89 to average the most stocks for a season.
Oh wow, wow.
Obviously, Wemby being injured, of course, but I mean, hey, he's still averaging 4 steals a game.
Sheesh, bro. I did not
Crazy.
know that.
Yeah, 4.2 or my fault, 3. I was looking at assists. My
Three,
bad.
three, three.
3.
I was gonna say, I was like, four?
Yeah,
Really? That was
but he's averaging, yeah, 3 steals and then
that's still a lot.
almost a block, point 0.7 blocks. But you know what I mean. Like you said, I have read. You know, you explained it perfectly, bro. His, you know, I was kind of talking about Christian Brown's jump in points and stuff. I mean, Dyson Daniels is right there. He averaged 6 last year, and he's averaging 14 this year, with the steals, on with the blocks every now and then. Like you said, he's,
Rebounds.
yeah, rebounds. He's been great for them. Like you say, he's gonna be a part of their future. And man, Atlanta's gonna be good, man. I'm excited to see what they got planned for the future, bro. Ricochet, when Jalen Johnson comes back.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
they're
Ricochet has been awesome too recently. I
yep,
was gonna say we were talking about the rookie of the year, but Ricochet has had, yeah, he's
yeah.
been awesome.
They've been looking good.
Oh
It's crazy,
man,
kind of like side tangent. Um, Trey Young, I was watching the Hawks game last night, I think, and I think we were talking about it. He hasn't been that efficient on the offensive side, but just what he's been doing passing wise and his assists
I
and
think yeah,
getting other people involved, he's still pretty much contributing. essentially the same amount of points.
That's
Just
I would argue that's the way he contributes more,
mm-hmm. Right. No, I agree.
which is like really cool.
Yeah, because he's
It's
averaging
not
what, like
like
23 and 11 or something.
yeah, like he's an offensive superstar for sure, but like I think the passing is what's more special
Mm-hmm.
with him, which is
Right.
kind of cool to say
Yeah.
because he's there's not a lot of players like that, but I think he's somebody who's kind of taking like if you get the kind of like he's like a Rajon Rondo, and he's like a better version of that because Rajon Rondo couldn't really score.
Right. Yeah, and that, I think that's the thing too. It's like Trey can easily drop 40 on your head too. So like you
Oh
said, like
yeah,
you're saying. So even though he might not be like he might be not on as like of a efficient wise this season, I mean that could still come
yeah.
playoffs. You know what I mean? Like the
I'm sure the
this.
stats out there, but I wonder how many assists that he gets to Dyson Daniels. That's what I meant
Mm,
kind of earlier. Is I'm not. I don't have the number in front of me, but I'm sure it's two a game or something like that.
yeah.
That's four extra points, like you're saying. That's half of the gap.
Right. Right. Right.
So to play with somebody like that, it's like it's so fun. Like if you've ever played basketball before, when somebody wants to pass first, like he can score, but he's short, so he's looking for other people.
Yep. 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 Yep.
That's my dark horse candidate. Like if you had to bet on one, definitely take Dyson Daniels for
Dyson. Yeah,
sure.
that's a good one, bro. I'm not gonna lie. And then of course, number one. Pretty sure he's been number one majority of the season. Rightfully so. I know we were talking about it and whatever, most improved, but I think he does deserve it. Cade Cunningham, number one, minus 400 odds. So, what are your thoughts on Cade, bro? I want to hear you.
Man, let's start. Honestly, bro, I'm not gonna cap to you. Cade is he's been the dude pretty much all season. I mean, what can you say, bro? I mean, the Pistons are like on the cusp of becoming a franchise. Like honestly, bro, they're a franchise to be reckoned with. When you think about kind of a new squad like the Rockets, you know, up and coming like the Grizzlies, the Timberwolves, young, spry, pause teams, but like Cade is right there as a leader, bro. Like he's been uh, kind of what's been making the Pistons go, bro. So obviously it's no surprise to see him at the top of the list. He is a first round, first overall pick, right? So I want to hear your thoughts on that in a second, but I think he's improved a lot this season just with his ability to pass. I think he's third in the league in assists or like second or like that, something like that. And then the scoring, and he's been a lot more efficient this season as well. You know, I think there was some injury risk earlier, whenever he was younger coming out of the gate in terms of OSU. You know, he was hurt for that first season, and then obviously he got hurt again. But I think he's kind of shut up the rumors a little bit, and that's been nice to see. And he's definitely the best player in this field in terms of skill wise. Again, first time All Star. He's doing it all, bro. He's doing it all. He'll probably win this award. He's averaging like 25 and 10, but
Yeah.
uh, so yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I gotta
I was about to
say.
say, yeah, just kind of, I talked about it earlier, bro. I don't, I think he does deserve it. It's just the fact that he was a number one overall pick and his jump is from like a high tier superstar to like an all star now. You know what I mean? And he made that ascension, but like I like seeing just the lesser known player get it. You know what I mean? Like even when Jaw got it, like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wasn't mad because he definitely did have a huge jump, but it's like
Desmond Bain should have got it.
right, yeah, exactly that same type, and I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to just sound like a record, just repeating myself, but he definitely does deserve it. You know what I mean? I think it's also the team success and what he's contributed to that team, and they're winning now. And like you say, he's averaging 26 and 10. It's like he made that ascension, so I'm not mad at that. It's just kind of like I like seeing the Dyson Daniels or the Christian Browns like winning the award, but I'm not opposed to it. It's just kind of like, damn, like, did y'all not expect this, I guess? Or like did you
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I think that's what more so it is because like you said he was kind of a little injured towards his first couple years, but going into these last two he's kind of shown us the bright spots. He was just on a team that wasn't winning, so it's like okay, like his team got better, so obviously he's gonna get better as well. But I don't know. I just think the lesser known, the smaller guy, or the one that was drafted 20th or 13th, whatever it is, like should be getting it. But I'm not mad at it because he
Yeah, I'll
definitely.
keep it real. I'll keep it real. Like I think J Dub, Dyson, like there's other dudes like you're saying who probably deserve it more. I think Cade might be closer to getting an All NBA selection, which
Mhm.
in my opinion would mean more to me than a Most Improved Player award. But that's just me,
Right,
I
right.
don't know. But like you're saying, it's up to the league's discretion in terms of what the criteria is. Hopefully, one day it comes out, it's like public information. Maybe that would help us kind of analyze the awards and give our audience better background into like how they're actually picking these people. But
Mm.
obviously, Cade has had a tremendous jump in terms of his ability to lead a franchise and what he's bringing to the table. And obviously, with him getting that first All Star selection, the NBA agrees, bro. They're excited that the Pistons are good. Like you said, Detroit basketball,
Basketball facts.
man. Yeah,
Hell
come
yeah.
on, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So. Yeah, tee me up, one time, K, for sure. We're showing love over here.
Facts, bro, for sure.
He
But
probably gonna win,
yeah, he's more than likely gonna win, bro. And I'm, like I said, I'm not mad at
100%.
it. He's had a great season, and the Pistons have had a great season, so I can't be
100
mad at that. Especially
for sure.
I think that has a lot to do with it. If I'm gonna be completely honest, like
Yeah, no,
if they
that's what it is.
because they were so bad last year, and then they turned around their season. Plus, Cade is
Yeah,
having an All Star season, so I'm not
yeah,
mad.
bro.
But yeah,
Yeah, bro.
that
What's
wraps
up?
up the Most Improved Player
Yeah,
award.
yeah. There we go.
Was we guess
We'll
we
do
gotta get
Coach of the Year after the All NBA teams.
bad.
That's
But yeah,
yeah.
let's get into these bets, bro. I had kind of had a bad night. I'm not gonna lie, man.
Me too. Me too.
I
I
went
got
one.
hooked on Quentin Grimes, bro.
Did
He
you?
went 2 of 8, bro.
Damn. Yeah, the only one that hit for me, I had Zubac for the points rebounds. He hit, of course, and then I think I had Stephon Castle like 15 or 18 points, whatever. I think he scored like 9, and then I think Cat. I also didn't hit on him, and it was points rebounds.
The parlay I did the 25 plus, bro. I think Durant sold. I
Really?
think Durant got 23.
Damn.
Shea had 30, of course. But,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, it was a
so I
bad
missed
day.
both.
I went
Yeah, that's a bad day.
one for two. We'll bounce
Yep.
back though. Bounce back
It's
next time.
okay. It's okay. I'm glad I'm like remembering them. But
Yeah.
yeah, I kept track. I'm like, oh man, yep. That's gonna hurt
Yeah.
my bank account.
It happens
But
though. We'll win it back Wednesday, bro. We got this shit.
oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah, no. I think on Wednesday too, we got the All NBA second team.
Yup. Yes, sir. That should be a good one.
Yeah. For sure. And then hopefully we can do some of this trivia about pull up these NBA archives.
Yeah, for
Those
sure.
pictures. We'll see.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, man,
But
that
you have anything else, man?
no, I was just about to say it's a great pod, like it always is. Always good chopping up with you. Just ready for this March Madness. That shit's gonna
Oh
go crazy.
my, yeah. Who do you got? Who do you got?
Man, I hate to say it, but I think Duke.
Me too. Oh,
I hate to say it, but I
I want
think
to. I want to see Cooper Flag do it.
me too, bro. And that
I'm a
pains me because
loser, I guess.
I'm a Carolina fan, bro. But they look
Oh
good.
wow, wow.
Yeah,
Okay, I didn't know.
yeah,
I didn't even know that.
yeah,
But
bro.
yeah, I want to see Cooper Flag cut that nut down for sure. We're gonna see, man. We're
Yeah.
gonna see.
We'll see though. But yeah, no. If do you have anything else to say, sir, before we head out?
Nah, man, that's it for me.
Yes, sir. Well, if y'all liked and enjoyed this episode of Three Man Weave, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see y'all next time, man. Peace.
Peace.
Three man.
Three man.